Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time and depending when you're going to be seeing this video. It's your brother, your boy, courserepscorner. Like I always tell you guys, it's my corner, it's your corner, and it's our corner.
I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun, yeah. I don't wanna fall in love.
In this particular video, I will be talking to us about something that happened in the Western world. I will not want to mention the place. I want you to hear the place yourself and see what is really going on. A reverend sister who was buried 4 years ago has been exhumed. You know, there are some tradition in the Catholic faith that when you are the founder of something or of an organization, when you pass on, after some years, your remains, maybe your bones, your ash, will be taken and placed in a chapel or placed in a secret place. It's normal with the Catholic doctrine, Catholic faith and everything. Do you understand? If you remember that word that said, Peter, upon this rock I will build my church. You remember that word that God told Peter, that Jesus told Peter. Do you remember? When I say God, it is 3 persons in one, so don't be skeptical. Okay, so in this particular video, this particular nun, this particular reverend sister was the founder of this organization, this group of sisters. Now she passed on some years ago. You will hear the story. I just want to give you a preamble. Let me not come and tell you everything. Just relax. She was buried some years ago, and after her burial, it was normal for the remains to be brought into the tomb kept for the founder. Like in some Catholic church, like for example, in my diocese, in my archdiocese in Benin City, then I don't know for now, but then they have a tomb where they bury priests. Yes, I don't know for now. Like I said then they have a tomb where priests are buried. They have a separate tomb where those who are bishops are buried. I don't know if you understand. So on exhuming this woman's corpse that have been buried for 4 years, they noticed something. The casket or the coffin used to bury her has all decayed, but this woman's body did not decay. The clothes she was putting on did not decay. 4 years after burial, 365 days times 4. That will tell you how many days this lady stayed under the ground, under the soil, without any form of decay. In the Catholic faith, it means a lot. If you are a Catholic like me, like I am, you will know that yes, we have heard stories how people became venerable, from venerable became saints, and that's what we are talking about, saints of the Catholic faith till today. This particular nun, this particular reverend sister is paving her way to becoming a saint. It is clearly, you can see the fact. You see I don't know if you are seeing the pictures at the video as it's going. It was covered by a big media house talking about CNN made this video, and I give them the credit. Okay, but I just saw it and I said, no, let me share it with us so that we will see that yes, people are still there. Some persons have lived their life in service to God and to humanity, and you can't take it away from them. Anyway, that's all I've come to share. I want to thank all of us for always loving me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the care. For those of us who have not subscribed, please, I beg you, join the family by subscribing. Join the family also by joining the membership. Like, comment, and share so that we can move this ministry to the permanent site. Okay? Till I come away next time to you see me on your screen, guys. I leave us with this video. Please, if you know you are not sure or if you feel it's a lie, just wait and watch this interview. Okay, watch this video and I tell you, you will not regret it. Watch with me.
Now to this surprising discovery that is defying the laws of science. Crowds are flocking to the small town of Gower, Missouri to view a Catholic nun's body that appears to show no signs of decay despite being buried for 4 years. The body of Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster, who died in 2019 at the age of 95, was exhumed from the monastery grounds so that she could be moved to her final resting place inside the chapel. But when her coffin was unearthed, this is what they found. Lancaster's body was apparently incorrupt, which in Catholic tradition means the body did not decay. CNN affiliate KMBC reports people have traveled from across the country to see for themselves.
powerful experience, very powerful.
It's one of the most rare events in the whole of the United States.
Not that old, but I've never heard of that in my life.
Well, let me bring in Kelsey Wicks. She is the executive director for the ACI group and has written about this for the Catholic News Agency. Kelsey, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So walk us through exactly what this group of sisters found when they unearthed, the body.
Well, it's really remarkable, Frederica. When I sat down with the abbess, she said, we began to exhume the body of our foundress to move her into the chapel. It's a long-standing custom in Catholic religious orders to have your founder or foundress in your chapel. And as they were exhuming her, there was a crack in the coffin. And so she took a flashlight, looked in, and she goes, "I think I saw a foot." And she said, "I couldn't have seen a foot." At this point in the game, there should be a great deal of decomposition. They were expecting to find skeletal remains. And instead, they found an intact body. So she said to her sisters, "I found a foot." And they all cheered, knowing, of course, what this potentially means in Catholic tradition.
And so you actually went as well, right? You went to see for yourself. And you and a whole lot of people can see for themselves because she is out in the open. And what did you experience?
I mean, it was remarkable, the level of detail. Even the branding of her sock was still visible. The veil of her habit was made of the same material as the interior lining of the coffin, and that had decayed while the veil had not. There was no smell of putrid or decay or anything of this. It was just simply looked as though she had been dead for a day. It was really remarkable.
And so help people understand, in the terms of Catholicism, what is incorruptible? What does it mean? Does she seem to demonstrate everything that it embodies?
There does need to be a thorough investigation to make sure that this is in a case of an incorrupt body. But what it essentially means is that there's a lack of natural process of decay, and that points to a theological reality, which is that at the end of this life, there is something more. And so people who demonstrate extraordinary levels of holiness within Catholicism often found to have these incorrupt bodies, which suggests that there's some level of closeness to the future resurrection that they might have.
Is there anything more you can tell us about who Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster was?
Yeah, she was 95 when she died. She lived 75 years in religious life under the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, which is its own miracle. And at the age of 70, she founded this congregation of Benedictine sisters. They're known for their chart-topping Gregorian chant albums, but they've also now become known for the body of this woman in an unnatural state of decay and who is giving hope to Catholics and non-Catholics around the country that maybe God is active.
Wow. So what comes next for Sister Wilhelmina? I mean, what will the process look like to determine if she, in fact, is an incorruptible? What does it take to ultimately be declared a saint?
Well, first on the level of incorruptibility, it doesn't necessarily demonstrate the holiness of her life, although it could be a sign of it. So in order for her to be canonized, she'll have to go through a process that will begin after the 5th year of her death, that will go through all of her writings, her virtues, her life, to see if there's anything in there that is contradictory to the Christian way. And then after that, she'll need 2 miracles, one miracle for beatification and one miracle for canonization. And this miracle, if it is found to be not as a result of any sort of fluke of the way in which she was buried or the conditions within the ground, which it does not appear to be, would not count for either of those 2 miracles.
And what do you know about how she was prepared for burial?
So the abbess told me, and it's been confirmed by the person who signed her death certificate, that she was not embalmed and that she was laid in a simple coffin and without a concrete sarcophagus around it and placed into the ground. And CNA did a series of interviews with morticians around the country, and many of them expressed their shock at the fact that a body that was not embalmed would be at this point of lack of decay. It's rather remarkable according to those that study mortuary science.
Wow, it is remarkable. That's why so many people are flocking there to see for themselves. And apparently, there is a process that the body will actually be, going through this week, right? I mean, there'll be, a rosary involving, her sisters. And what else do you know?
So what's fascinating is there will be 20,000 visitors by the end of this weekend, they are anticipating. So they've had to set up a whole meet and greet system. They have porta potties now on the property. There are people in lines, volunteers feeding them just to be able to walk through and catch a glimpse of Sister's body and to pray in front of it. And on the 29th, the sisters will hold a rosary procession, and then they will formally move her body into a glass enclosed case and put her final remains inside the chapel with the sisters while they wait to build a shrine to St. Joseph where they hope to bury her.
Wow, that's incredible. And then potentially other things could happen within the next year, because you mentioned the whole, 5th year after one's death, potentially the process of canonization if it comes to that. So, wow,
That's
what a
right.
journey.